Hey guys, welcome to another weekly reading vlog. So it's only Tuesday and I'm already feeling not stressed. I don't want to say stressed, I'm not at that point yet. I'm kind of just verging on overwhelmed. Like I'm at the point now where I'm currently just about managing everything, but pretty soon we are going to fall into me just being overwhelmed. So essentially what happened is after I released the fall bundle, which was at the beginning of September, it was like the second week of September, I ordered all of the things that I would need, and the colors for two of the candles are ones that I've never used before. So I had samples but I didn't have any stock in, so I ordered them the day the candles went on sale, and normally they take about 3 or 4 days to arrive. Now I have had it where they've arrived a little bit late before, so I did leave it, but 2 weeks after I placed my order they still hadn't arrived. So I messaged the guy and said, hi, my orders are now all overdue, and the fall release was like a really big release as well. And I essentially asked him like where my order was, and he made this whole thing about like, oh well, it's been lost in the post, so it's Royal Mail's problem, it's not mine, but that doesn't help you, so I guess I'll just have to send you a replacement pack and hope that I can recover the losses. Like trying to make me feel bad because Royal Mail had lost his parcel, and as a business owner, yes, it is inconvenient when things go missing in the mail, and yes, it is a financial drain when you have to replace things that you didn't lose, or like I have breakages, so I have to replace things that somebody else has broken. But as somebody who is selling something, you are contractually obliged to replace these items if they go missing or they get broken, and then if you can seek financial compensation. So it just really annoyed me that he tried to guilt trip me about it. But anyway, the dye did arrive on Monday, so I have cracked on with orders. I made, I think, around 50 candles yesterday. I've shipped probably half of the orders that I needed to. Also this morning I edited my vlog, then while I was waiting for it to export and upload, I was dipping in between packing candle orders and sorting that out for upload. We've now got to 6 p.m, which is like the end of my work day, and I could do with doing a full extra batch of candle dispatching. And I also am going to be running sprints on the Twitter tonight because tomorrow is the last day of Bookoplathon, and I've had such a great time with Bookoplathon. I've really enjoyed doing sprints nearly every night, and also dice sprints especially, but it's been 29 days and I'm excited for it to be over, just so that at night, because what I've been doing is I've been running sprints for like a decent amount of hours, so I've been kind of tied into reading through that time because I can't commit to anything else while also concentrating on running sprints. It's not even like I want to do something, like I currently don't have the need to play Fortnite, although I will be going back to Fortnite when October starts, and I don't feel the need to do anything else especially. I'm happy to sit and read. I think it's because, especially with it being the night before the last night of Bookoplathon, like I have to do Twitter sprints tonight, otherwise there will never be any Twitter sprints again, and I kind of want to do like the final ones, so it feels like something I have to do as opposed to something that I want to do. And with me just generally being stressed, because like don't get me wrong with this big rant, like I do enjoy everything that I do. I enjoy making content, I enjoy making candles, like I find the process of doing it really therapeutic, but when I have so many other things to do as well, like tomorrow I have to film 2 videos, then I have to edit one for Thursday, as well as trying to get through all of these orders that were overdue because the dye didn't arrive. I'm also juggling the autumn release, which I'm now sending out, the Believeathon release, which I've sent out about half of the orders for that. I have a restock coming at the end of the week, so if you didn't get autumn or Believeathon candles and you wanted them, I have an enormous restock on both of them. Probably on Friday. I think the fragrance is going to arrive tomorrow, but I will do the restock on Friday. And this restock is so big that even though this video goes up on Tuesday, I would be shocked if I've sold out. If I've sold out, I may just have to quit because Hey guys, so this is Editing Becca here, and I do not normally do this, like insert a little clip, especially in vlogs, but I'm just popping in to let you guys know that this release that I'm talking about, that I said I was pretty sure I wasn't going to sell out on, I sold out in 12 hours. So if you were hoping after watching this vlog to go and get the Fall and Believeathon candles, unfortunately, I'm very, very sorry. I really did think that these were going to last me a long time. I didn't think they were going to sell out. I do think that you can still get hold of the Dark Academia candle from the autumn range, and you can also still get hold of the 221B Baker Street Sherlock inspired candle for Believeathon, but the bundles on both have all gone. Crime and Punishment is gone, Basic Witch and Cozy Fall Reads are gone. This was a restock that was 4 times as big as the initial release on both ranges, so yeah, back to your regularly scheduled content. It's just a whole lot. So I'm juggling those two releases. I'm very conscious of the fact that I need to get the Christmas release done as soon as possible, which I'm really excited about and I really want to work on, but I just don't really have the time. And then on top of that, I'm maintaining my upload schedule. So I do really love all of my jobs, all of the work that I do. It's just everything just seems a bit much right now, and I have noticed that the beginning of the week does tend to feel a little bit like this. Also, I want to finish my book tonight, which I'm going to get onto because I really didn't want this to be a long update, and then I've just gone on a massive rant. But yeah, I'm a little bit overwhelmed and just wanted to get that off my chest. So the book that I'm reading, I'm nearly done with. I actually don't think I'm going to tell you too much about it right now because I will be wrapping up my thoughts pretty soon. I'm on page 326, so I'll probably finish this tonight and let you know about it tomorrow, but there's 413 pages, so this is definitely getting done tonight. Thank God, because I need to start Way of Kings Part 2. But it's a young adult fantasy with a ton of LGBTQIA+ rep that starts off on a pirate ship. It features a mermaid, a witch, and the sea. It's very well written, and so far I do think it's a really good book, even though I don't think I'm going to give it 5 stars because it's just not my favorite kind of thing. But objectively, I do think that this is a really, really good book. It's just not hitting me in the way that my favorite books and my 5-star books do. But I am absolutely loving this. It's atmospheric, it's really well written, and I do really like the characters. So that's all I'm gonna say about that right now. I could go into a little bit depth about the plot right now, but I'm hungry as well. On top of all of this, I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go and put food in. I'm gonna stop being quite so much of a hot mess, and I will come back to you guys tomorrow to actually tell you about this properly. Hey guys, so last night I did indeed finish The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Tsukuda Hall. So this is a very queer young adult fantasy that follows a pirate that is called both Flora and Florian. Now Florian is a pirate aboard the pirate ship the Dove, but this ship does actually disguise itself as a passenger ship. So what they do is they take on rich passengers, offering to take them to wherever they're going, and then at a certain point in the trip they actually drag them all out of bed and take them as slaves and then go on to sell them onto other places. So this starts off on one particular voyage of the Doves where a highborn lady called Evelyn gets on the ship to be taken to an arranged marriage that she does not want. This is called The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea. So there is a mermaid in here that is captured by the pirates. This book also features a very powerful witch and also the pirate supreme, which is very closely tied to the sea. So Florian and Evelyn do hatch a plan to release this captured mermaid, which leads them to embark on this voyage that has quite a few different locations in it. One thing that I really loved about this book, but I also think is its downfall in my opinion, is that it does kind of read like an old tale. It doesn't have like a fairy tale vibe about it, but I feel like there is a distance between the reader and the characters that makes it like you are reading a story as opposed to being immersed in a story, if that makes sense. I do think that this book feels like it would be a good book to read aloud, but I did really like this because I liked the atmosphere that it gave off, and I also feel like it really served to cement this book in the imaginary history of this fantastical world that it's set in. My only issue with that, the reason that I gave this book 4 stars by the way, the reason I gave it 4 stars instead of 5 is because that does create a distance between me and the characters. Like I didn't really feel like I was in the story, I was just reading it. So because of that distance between me and the characters, I wasn't really very much connected to them. That being said, I do think that we have an excellent cast of characters in here. We also have a very diverse cast of characters. This book not only tackles gender identity, but it also has other LGBTQIA+ rep in here as well. It also has racial diversity, and it touches on themes of colonialism and also imperialism. There are content warnings in here. It's a little bit darker than I expected it to be. So content warnings for sexual assault, a little bit of homophobia, slavery, and also torture. But I do think that this is a really, really good book. I didn't feel, like I've said, immersed in the story, but this is definitely a book that I would recommend. I do think that it was very well written, and I really liked the style and the atmosphere of it. So for my Bookoplathon TBR, as it is the final day of the Bookoplathon, this one was to read a book with LGBTQIA+ rep. So that is complete, meaning that I have one book left on my Bookoplathon TBR, which I have already started, and that is The Way of Kings Part 2 by Sanderson. So this is the second half of the first book in the Stormlight archive, so I can't really tell you much about this physical book specifically, and actually I can't even tell you that much about The Way of Kings because I'm not going to keep repeating myself on this, because I did go into a little bit of depth about this last week. So when I finish Way of Kings Part 2, I will kind of give you a review of it. But in terms of synopsis, it is an adult epic fantasy that is told from multiple perspectives, and all of the perspectives are kind of revolving around the edge of this big conflict in the world, which is that there is an ongoing war between the Alethi and the Parshendi. Now, all of the perspectives that we follow come from the Alethi side of the war, so we don't have any perspective from the Parshendi at this moment. I don't really know if that's going to change. There is one character that I think maybe Parshendi, but they are actually not present in the bulk of the story. I've only read from them in the interludes, and I may be wrong or remembering incorrectly. They may not actually be Parshendi, but essentially the Alethi and Parshendi went to war against each other because the Parshendi orchestrated the assassination of the Alethi king when they were supposed to be at a peace treaty, and so the Alethi went to war with them to seek revenge for this. However, the war has been going on for so long now that the initial reason for going to war is kind of irrelevant, because it's just a constant battle where both sides are fighting over these things called gem hearts and also the ownership of shards. Shards are the main magical things in this series so far, and they are either shard plates, which are suits of armor, or shard blades, and they give their owners enhanced strength. So if you own shard plates or shard blades, especially if you own both, then you are pretty much invincible, and if you kill somebody who has them, then by rights the shard plate and the shard blades are yours to keep. So I'm currently on page 32 of this. The first half of this was really slow, but I've been told multiple times that the second half is a little bit faster. Surprisingly, considering I dragged my feet on the first half of this, when I picked this up last night and read those 30 pages, I was really invested and could have continued. I just wanted to go to bed because it was like 1:30 a.m. But yeah, I'm hoping that this is going to take me maybe 2-3 days to finish. Aside from this being quite dense and quite slow, like it's really small and there's hardly any margin space, so just reading a page takes longer than usual without it being dense and slow. But yeah, I enjoyed the first half of this. I've enjoyed the 32 pages I've read so far, and hopefully I will finish this soon. This was on my Bookoplathon TBR to read an adult book, and while I will not be finishing it in September, by the rules of Bookopoly, I just have to have started the last book on my TBR by the end of the month to not take a punishment, and by the end of tonight I aim to be at least 100 pages into this. So that is where my reading is at. I'm about to film 2 videos, but I did receive this massive Waterstones parcel today, and over the last few months I have been ordering quite a lot from Waterstones. The majority of them are books that I kind of am going to be reading soon anyway, but I generally place a Waterstones order for a reason and then end up filling my basket, because you have to spend a certain amount of money to get free shipping, and I just hate paying for shipping when there's an option of free shipping. And it's not like I'm adding things in that I don't need or won't use. Like, I read 10 books a month, so it's fine. But the reason that I placed this order is because I wanted to place a pre-order for A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. The thing with Waterstones as well is that the shipping literally makes no sense, because you can pre-order 4 books and get free shipping, even though they are going to be sending those books out individually and paying shipping each time. So it kind of works in your favor. I'm not sure how many of the books are in here because I can't remember. Did I order 5 books including the pre-order? They've actually just raised the amount of money that you have to spend to get free shipping, which is really annoying. But we have, yeah, all 4 books are in here. So the first 2 we have, I'm going to be reading in November, so I thought I may as well pick them up while I was placing an order. But that is part 1 and part 2 of Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson, which when you put them together make this really satisfying image. So these are both halves of book 3 in the Stormlight Archive. I'm going to be reading, you can see them up here, I've got part 1 and part 2 of Words of Radiance. I thought the Words of Radiance was bigger than Oathbringer, but these are really chunky. How big are these ones? Part 1 is like 620 pages. Oh gosh. And part 2 is 743. Is the text bigger? No, I really did think that Words of Radiance was bigger. So wow, these are chunky, and I will be reading them in the busiest month of the year for me work-wise, so do wish me luck. Another book that I picked up is one from my Amazon wishlist that keeps getting recommended to me, and that is The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. I can't really remember what this is about. Born on the fringes of Bethel, Emmanuel does her best to obey the church and follow holy protocol. For it was in Bethel that the first prophet pursued pursued and killed 4 powerful witches and so cleansed the land. Then a chance encounter lures her into the dark wood that surrounds Bethel. It is a forbidden place haunted by the spirits of the witches who bestow an extraordinary gift on Emmanuel, the diary of her dead mother. Fascinated by and fearful of the secrets the diary reveals, Emmanuel begins to understand why her mother once consorted with witches, and as the truth about the prophets and their history is revealed, so Emmanuel understands what must be done, for the real threat to Bethel is its own darkness. So yeah, Bobby from Bobby Reads has been bugging me to read this, and because my wishlist is closed, she was complaining that she couldn't buy it for me. So of the ones that are on my wishlist at the moment, this is kind of the one that I wanted the most because it's spooky season, even though sadly the likelihood is I won't actually get to read this month, but I have heard good things from multiple people and I'm really excited to read this. Also by a black author as well, which is great. And the final book that I got was one that I had to get to make up the free shipping, which was really annoying. So I picked up a book that I've already read, and that is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde in the Penguin English Library editions. I am collecting classics in these editions, and The Picture of Dorian Gray is one of my favourite classics. So while I had, I think by the time I put this in my basket, I had to spend 2 pence to get free shipping, and I know that these are reasonably inexpensive. If you don't know what The Picture of Dorian Gray is, it is about a young man who is both beautiful and corrupt, and he's very vain and wants to live forever, so he commissions a painting of himself and he stays young and beautiful while his portrait ages. So if you have not read this, I would definitely recommend it. I don't read a whole ton of classics. I think I can only tell you 4 that I've enjoyed, but this is one of them. So if you ever want to read a classic, I would recommend picking this one up. So that being said, I have 2 videos to film today. I'm not feeling in a filming mood. I don't know, I feel kind of weird today, but it has to be done, so I'm gonna go get on with that. Hello and good morning. I'm just popping in because I have received a parcel today. No idea what this is. I have just cut the top off so that I can just stick my hand in while I'm opening it for you guys. Let's have a look. Oh, okay, this is Frost Heart 2 Escape from Aurora by Jamie Littler, which Gavin has sent this to me. Very strangely, I read the first book of this last November, I think, for Bookaplathon, because it's one of Gavin's favourite books. So I was gonna get the sequel anyway for Bookaplathon 2, but Gavin said that I wasn't allowed to buy it myself. He had to send it to me. So yeah, this is the sequel to Frost Heart. It's Gavin's favourite book ever, or favourite middle grade at least. And it follows a boy, I believe if I remember correctly, he's called Ash, and his parents are, I think, called Pathfinders. A Pathfinder is somebody who travels between all of these different settlements in this big snowy landscape where there's monsters in the snow, and his parents went off one day, left him behind, said that they'd come back for him, and never did, and the people of the settlement that he's in don't like him because he sings. I'm pretty sure that's it. Music is bad in this world. But yeah, this is illustrated as well. The illustrations are really pretty and really do add to the story, and I did really enjoy the first book, so thank you, Gavin, for sending this my way. This is going to go on my Bookaplathon TBR, which, thinking about it, I have to actually work out what I'm going to be reading for that, because the way the prompts are, I feel like the books that I have, because I have a very small selection of middle grade, aren't quite going to fulfill all of the prompts. But I definitely want to read this. Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend is released this month, so I definitely want to read that. And I also have A Pinch of Magic by, is it Michelle Harrison? So I want that on there. And then I also would like to finish the first Oz collection, and also maybe read a little bit more of Mary Poppins as well. So I'll have to look into that and see what I can do about my Bookaplathon TBR, which is Bookaplathon. By the way, I'll put the announcement video in my description box. It's a middle grade readathon that's hosted by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, that is through the entire month of November. But I'm sure most of you guys probably know that. So I have quite a lot of work to do today. I've just finished editing my September wrap up, and I'm gonna go pack candle orders, come back and schedule this, and then hopefully have time to make a whole bunch of candles as well. I'm not sure if I mentioned on Monday, but I'm gonna be working 6-day weeks, I think, from now until the end of the year, which is fun. But I am also, while you're here, I'll let you know that I am starting a new book today. Today is the first day of Slayathon. Bookaplathon ended yesterday, and my first prompt for that is for my character. My character is Cordelia, and her prompt is to read like a cover by, or a book with a beautiful cover. And so the first book I'm going to be reading in October, which may intersect with some of the other Slayathon prompts, just in the way that I'm reading them, because I am buddy reading this with Jade. The book that I'm reading, the beautiful cover one is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab, which I have an arc of on NetGalley. It is V. Schwab's newest release. I think it's released on the 6th of October. And it follows a girl called Addie LaRue who made a deal with the devil to be immortal, but the price of being immortal is that nobody that she ever meets will remember her. And then she meets this one guy in a bookshop and he actually remembers having met her before. So I'm starting that, but because I'm buddy reading it, I think we're going to read it over 6 days. I may start reading other books from my TBR alongside it, although at the minute I am still reading Way of Kings Part 2. I have like 400 pages of that left, so I think it'll probably work out that I finish those 2 books at about the same time.
I knew when I saw you, didn't care about the party. Wishing all of these people would just head out so we can talk. I could tell by the smile when you asked where to write your name on my wall. Wish I met you at 16, wish I could have taken you to prom. Better late than never, I see us spending days together. Sketching pictures up and singing songs, wondering what I did before you came along. Oh, you're just what I need, the best part of me. Somehow it keeps getting better. I waited forever, but better late than never. Better late than never. Good days and bad days, I know I can call you, 'cause you always have answers to problems that I could never solve. Never met green eyes, I love to get lost in this much.
So Addie LaRue is actually really fucking good. I started it yesterday. I'm not through my buddy read section with Jade for today yet. I think I'm probably around 100 pages into it now. It's hard to tell because I've got an e-arc, so I have to like work out my pages off the percentage, and I only do that once a day. But I can't really speak on whether the plot is any good yet because I'm just really starting to get into it. However, I fucking love the writing. So The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is released on the day that I'm posting this video, actually, the 6th of October. And it follows this girl who, surprise, surprise, is called Addie LaRue. It's told in 2 different timelines. I'm thinking that there's going to be a little bit of an in-between eventually. But at the minute, it's set in the early 1700s and also 2014. So in the early 1700s, Addie was just a normal girl. She lived in this little village in France and she wanted nothing more to be free. However, as a woman in the 1700s, there were certain things that were expected of her that she did not want for herself. One of these being marriage. Now, she resisted marriage as long as she possibly could, but a situation arose when she was 23 and she was supposed to go and marry this guy. She was quite distraught by this, so she ran away into the forest and made a deal with the devil. All she really wanted was freedom and more time, which was given to her. However, it came at a cost, and that cost was that absolutely nobody that she ever met would remember her. So pretty much her life is upended. She has to leave and she spends her life doing the things that she wanted to do, including things like traveling and exploring art. However, this is a very, very lonely existence, as you guys can imagine. So it's pretty much anytime she's out of someone's sight. So if they leave the room, when they come back in, they have no recollection of ever meeting her. Now, the thing that I'm really loving about this so far is that the writing is so beautiful and so melodramatic, which I really did not expect from this book. I have only read A Darker Shade of Magic, A Gathering of Shadows, Vicious and Vengeful by V. Schwab, but in my experience, her writing is quite plain. It's very much to the point. It is descriptive, but I would never describe it as poetical, and the writing in this is just so indulgent and so lush, and it's so melodramatic with the metaphors. Like, this is how I write. I don't know if you guys remember the Drunk Live show that I did where I read some of my writing. Like, I'm super melodramatic and like really heavy angsty metaphor, which is a very indulgent, like super melodramatic writing style, and I am just living for it. It is giving me super fall vibes and also just hitting me right in the soul. So the kind of crux of the plot of this, which is explained in the synopsis, is that one day Addie meets a guy in a bookstore who doesn't forget her. So where I'm at in the story, I have pretty much just got to the point where she's met him. I'm very excited to continue. continue. I'm hoping that I have enough charge in my Kindle actually, because I haven't charged it today, but that is pretty much what I'm about to go and do. I just thought that I would come in and let you guys know that I'm really enjoying it so far. This is definitely setting up to be a 4 or 5 star read for me. As I mentioned, cannot speak for the plot yet because I'm only at the very beginning of it, but just the writing style so far I'm absolutely loving. So providing the plot is good, I think that I'm really going to enjoy this book, which didn't know what to expect from V. Schwab because I've been very ambivalent about some of her books before, but then I also really love the villains duology, especially Vengeful. So I'm gonna go finish mine and Jade's buddy read for the day, and then I'm going to be moving back to Way of Kings Part 2. I'm currently on page 140 of that and things are definitely picking up. I've also heard that there's some pretty wild plot twists in this installment, which I'm really excited about. My goal to be able to finish my TBR for the month is 147 pages per day, and I was 1 page off yesterday, which was very upsetting. It's a little bit of a lofty page goal, but I do have a few quicker reads on my TBR, so fingers crossed I can actually do it. But it definitely helps that I'm currently enjoying both of the books that I'm reading. I don't think I'm actually going to manage to finish a book this week because Jade and I's buddy read has us finishing, I think it's next Wednesday or Thursday, and I'm anticipating that I'm probably going to finish Way of Kings at the same time. Oh, news for Way of Kings actually, the live show is going to be next Saturday over on Catherine from xXbeccabumxx Reads channel, and it's going to be at 10 p.m. BST. I will of course link Catherine's channel in the description box. I think that Catherine's setting it up very soon, so I should be able to link that for you. And then the Elderling Long live show for Ship of Magic is going to be at 8 p.m. BST on Sunday the 10th of October on Cassie's channel from What Cass Read, so I will link Cassie's channel down below as well. Cannot currently link the live show. I still need to announce that live show. I've been very busy this week. I worked until 10 p.m. last night. I've just finished work for the day now at 9:40 p.m. and I'm still behind, so I'm going to be working the weekend as well, which is always fun, but I knew this was coming starting in October, so at least I'm having fun with it. I've watched some booktube and watched some Vampire Diaries while I've been working today. Oh, the reason that I'm working so late today actually is because this afternoon I had my nail appointment and we have these very cute spoopy nails. I love them so much. I'll show you this side as well because this hand is a teeny bit different, but yeah, these are one of my favorite sets that I've ever had because they're so cute and it's spooky season and I'm really excited. Good afternoon guys, it is an incredibly grey and rainy day here, but I do have a parcel that arrived for me this morning. I think I know what this is. It is from HarperCollins, and somebody from a HarperCollins imprint did email me the other day and asked me if I wanted a proof copy of a January release, which sounds really good, so let's see if that is indeed what this is. Yes, so this is the Once and Future Queen, book 1 of The Secrets of the Star-Crossed by Clara O'Connor. I have actually seen this around. The cover reveal was not too long ago. 2 star-crossed lovers, already interested, fight to ignite the spark of rebellion. What if the Roman Empire never fell? What if the Caesar still ruled London? What if the Celtic throne still stood beyond its walls? What if their ancient elemental power still thrummed through the ley lines, that's really hard to say, woven deep within the land, within earth, air and water? What if something or someone unleashed it? So I believe, how many pages is this? This is 422 pages. It is a fantasy book and I believe it has a lot of Celtic mythology, also maybe suggests some Roman mythology in here as well, or at least history, and I believe that there's also some Arthurian legend in here as well. So let me just have a look at the press release. Okay, so this says the award-winning HarperCollins Digital Division One More Chapter presents the breakthrough YA fantasy novel. So this is a YA fantasy, and oh okay, so this is actually called Secrets of the Star-Crossed and the series is called The Once and Future Queen. Once and Future Queen like immediately implies Arthurian legend. Londinium, the last stronghold of the Romans left in Britannia, remains in a delicate state of peace with the ancient kingdoms that surround it. As the only daughter of a powerful merchant, Cassandra is betrothed to Marcus, the most eligible bachelor in the city. But then she meets Devin, the boy with the strange midnight eyes, searching for a girl with magic in her blood. When a mysterious sickness starts to leech the life from citizens with Celtic power lying dormant in their veins, the Imperial Council sets their schemes in motion, and so Cassandra must make a choice. The code or chaos, science or sorcery, Marcus or Devin. Panem meets the Grishaverse. I hate it when they do this. Panem meets the Grishaverse in this explosive new YA trilogy perfect for readers of Marie Lou, Bella Forrest and Cassandra Clare, and it is released on January the 21st, 2021. I mean, I really don't need any more proof copies right now, but all of the ones that I currently have I think are at least this month or last month, so I'm actually wide open for the rest of the year and next year. So I did accept this because it sounds really, really interesting, and I'm excited to see how all these elements kind of play in, because we have the Roman Empire, Celtic law, and also Arthurian legend, which is Old English. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and thank you so much to HarperCollins and One More Chapter for sending this my way. So I'm gonna go and edit a video now. It is Saturday. I ordered some jars for my candles yesterday because I have a very small amount left. My normal supplier don't have the lids that I usually use, so I've gone with a different supplier, but it said estimated delivery date today. Now I did question that just because of the area of the country that I live in. It's not one where we tend to have courier deliveries on weekends because I live in a very small town, but I hate it when they do this because like that got my hopes up, even though I only expect them to arrive on Monday. So I don't know if they're gonna arrive today, but if they are, I will be making candles later on. But first I'm going to edit my video for tomorrow, and then if my jars don't arrive, I will probably film a couple of videos tomorrow because I'm just trying to keep the flow of work moving and keep myself a little bit ahead of the game on the YouTube end so that I can devote more time to candles, because I put a whole ton of candles on sale yesterday and I've sold out of most of them. So yeah, I really need to bring my A game to that, and it's going to be a lot of working nights and also working weekends, which is unfortunate, but October, November, December are always kind of the same, and I would rather have a lot more momentum in October so that I'm not really stressed in December. So reading wise, I think I'm around 160-ish maybe pages into Addie Larue now. Still really enjoying that, still really loving the writing, but not a great deal of plot yet. It's just kind of coming in now. And Way of Kings I'm also really enjoying. I've read a few chapters this morning, so I'm on page like 185 of that. I'm up to the first set of interludes in the second book, which is the third set in the book overall. So yeah, I'm gonna go edit a video, maybe play some video games today, fingers crossed, and also get some reading done.
I see us spending days together, sketching pictures up and singing songs, wondering what I did before you came along. Oh, you're just what I need, the best part of me. Somehow it keeps getting better. I waited forever. All the love I made and lost before we met seems so far gone. I wish it wouldn't have taken so long.
So I'm pretty much just popping in to wrap up this vlog because I don't really have anything new to update you on. I'm currently on page 238 of The Way of Kings Part 2 by Brandon Sanderson. Things are starting to pick up and heat up a little bit in here, and I am really enjoying where everything's going. However, I'm definitely not going to finish this tonight, and I don't really have anything to say that I haven't told you guys already at this point. I'm also about the same way into The Invisible Life of Addie Larue by V. Schwab. I think I'm on around page 225-ish, I want to say, of that. I'm pretty much bang on halfway. I haven't started my section for today. It is now like 7 p.m. so I do need to get a move on with reading, but I am currently just making a few candles because I'm so busy right now. I'm getting really stressed about it. I'm okay. I'm actually less stressed than I was at the beginning of the week. If you do have an outstanding candle order with me, then I am very sorry. I'm currently running a little bit behind. However, I have made a whole ton of progress this week. I think I've sent out around 50 orders this week, and I'm definitely 100% going to do at least the same again in the week coming. So yeah, I'm really sorry if you do have an outstanding order, but I fell a little bit behind, and now it's literally all systems go. So if your order is outstanding, it should have been shipped by now. I'm really sorry. I haven't forgotten about you. Just that setback I had with the dye has put me a lot behind. Actually, I'm quite a bit behind, sadly. Also, do you guys like my eyeshadow? Because this morning I thought I put a bit of eyeshadow on. I always think I'm gonna go for a low-key look, and then the color I select turns up much darker than I anticipated, so I end up with a really dramatic eye look. But I actually really like it, and I like the orange tones. I'm going to order before the end of the day an orange lipstick because I really want like a burnt orange kind of color, and and I'm trying not to buy too much stuff. I'm putting stuff on my Christmas list instead. Otherwise, people will ask me what I want for Christmas and I will have absolutely nothing to tell them. But it's definitely an autumn colour, so I'm going to order that tonight and I'm very, very excited about it. I did go into Hull today as well. If you remember a couple of weeks back, I went into Primark and bought a whole ton of clothes because you can't try anything on. So I did go back today and return some stuff, and I bought a whole ton of leggings because, top tip, do not buy the high-waisted leggings from Primark because they're not high-waisted. But if you get the cozy ones, they have like a really soft velvety inside. They are so comfortable, and they are also actually high-waisted. So I bought 5 pairs of them in 4 different colours. The only colour I didn't manage to get was black, but we have the burgundy ones, which I'm wearing today. I bought another pair of those, 2 pairs of grey, 1 pair of like a mossy green. It's kind of the same colour as this top, and the other pair I got were like a navy, but they're more like an almost purpley colour. So yeah, we went into Hull so I could return some stuff. I picked up some more leggings, and then we got dessert, and that is the extent of everything that I have to tell you. So I'm going to be wrapping up this vlog here. I hope you guys have enjoyed it if you've made it this far. If you have, please don't forget to like if you liked it and subscribe if you wanna, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Oh, you bite your friend like chocolate. You say you'll go where nobody knows, with guns hidden under our petticoats. We're never gonna quit it, no, we're never gonna quit it, no.